Hello everyone. So the next concept in the slope deflection method is sway analysis. So we have already dealt with non-sway analysis of the frames. So the next concept is sway analysis of the frames by slope deflection method. Okay. Again, I've told you in this we have differentiated with sway and non-sway analysis, but in exam they will not give you whether it is a sway frame or a non-sway frame, so you have to analyze. So I've already told you in the previous video how to analyze the frame whether it is a sway or a non-sway. Again, you can see here, just by seeing this, frame, you can make out one length is 4 meter, the other length is 6 meter. Okay, so because there is a difference in the height or in the level, this is first thing, it has to sway. That means because this is shorter and this is longer, and that's why it will sway. Sway means it will, when you apply the load, it will move either to the right or to the left side. Okay, that is the first criteria. The second criteria is, see here, you can see here this columns, this I, here it has I, and here it has 2I. That means this strength is less compared to this. Moment of inertia of this column is lesser than moment of inertia of this column. That's why when you apply the load, it will again sway. The complete frame will bend like this. Okay, so again, by seeing the frame, you have to decide whether it is a sway frame or a non-sway frame. Okay, so now in this case, because there is a difference in the height of the columns, and in addition to this, there is a difference in the I value. That's why the complete frame will sway. So now we have to do the sway analysis. So the difference between sway and non-sway analysis is there are quite additional formulas where you have to apply it to the columns, because the columns are moving. The columns are moving, especially this B changes to B dash, C changes to C dash. So it bends like this. Okay, bends in this direction. That's why we have to carry out the sway analysis. Now, how to carry out the sway analysis is again simple. It is same like before only, but there are quite a few additional steps. Okay, the first thing is finding the fixed end moments. Okay, the fixed end moments is same as usual for MFAB, MFBA, MFBC, MFCB, then MFCD, MFDC. Okay, you have to calculate all of these. So first, again, you can notice here in AB and CD columns, there are no loads acting. There are loads acting only in BC span. So because there are no loads acting in AB and BC, so in this, the fixed end moments in this both the portion will be 0. So that's why we'll sum it up and write MFAB is equal to MFBA, then MFCD is equal to MFDC is equal to 0. Okay. Then next is MFBC. Okay, we'll calculate fixed end moments for MFBC. So because it's a UDL, so it is WL square by 12. So BC is minus WL square by 12. So it is plus 120 minus 120. Then MFCB is W plus WL square by 12. So it's plus 120. Okay. This is the first thing. Okay. Next is again using the slope deflection unit. Same thing what we have done before. You'll again use the slope deflection equation, that is MAB is equal to MFAB plus 2EI by L. Then A is first term. So 2 times theta A plus theta B minus 3 delta by L. Okay. So substitute the values. Okay. Substitute all these values. So here exists the delta because it is swaying. Okay, for frames, whenever there is a difference in height like this, so obviously it will move to this portion like this. From A will remain in A portion only, but B deflects like this to the right. Here also C deflects to the right like this. So this deflection, horizontal movement from initial position to the final position, this is called as delta. Okay, this in frames it would be horizontal movement, which is called as delta, whereas in beams the horizontal movement would be vertical. Now the delta movement would be vertical. Okay, so now we'll substitute this value here. So 2 theta A plus theta B minus 3 delta by L. So substitute all the values. Again, be careful with the I values. So here I is I only. So next theta A. Theta is a fixed support, so it becomes 0. So plus theta b minus 3 delta by L. So substitute all the values here, then keep it in the form of MAB is equal to, keep the first value here. So theta b first, then EI delta. Okay. So equation number 1. So similarly calculate MBA. So MBA is MFBA plus 2EI by L. So again, B is the first term here. So it is 2 times theta B. So theta A plus 2 times theta B minus 3 delta by L. Again, substitute all the values and this would become equation number 2. Next, always keep it in the form of like this only. That is first theta B, then theta C, and followed by this delta. Okay. Next, MBC. MBC, there is a load here. So we have already got MFBC plus 2 EI by L. Then B is 2 times theta B plus theta C minus 3 delta by L. So substitute all the values here. So here theta B and theta C both will exist because only end A and D are fixed. So theta A and theta D would be 0. But these are intermediate supports. So that's why theta B also will exist, theta C also will exist. So that's how we return this like this. So MBC is a, keep it in this form. So here it would be theta B, theta C, then this delta value. Okay, keep it in this form. Then actually 120, it has to be on the other side. Anyhow, when we're calculating, you can transfer that. Then MCB is equal to MFCB plus 2EI by L. Theta B, because C is the first term, so 2 times theta C minus 3 delta by L. Okay, so you get the value MCB. Okay, equation number 4. Then MCD is equal to MFCD plus 2EI by L. Then 2 times theta C, theta D minus 3 delta by L. So again, the theta D is 0 because it's a fixed support. Then MCD is equal to, substitute the values and write this equation number 5. Likewise, MDC. MDC, MFDC, this term is 0 here. So 2EI. So here the value of I is 2I in both the cases. So see, you can see here in both of these. So instead of I, you have to substitute 2I. Okay. Substitute 2I, then solve this theta C minus 3 delta by L. So MDC, you have got the value. Then joint equilibrium equation. Again, this is the third step. It would be again same, finding the joint equilibrium equations. So it is again same thing. Come to the joint B. MBA plus MBC is equal to 0. Then MCB plus MCD is equal to 0. Okay. So MBA plus MBC is equal to 0. First write all the complete equation. Be careful with the signs also. Mark the signs properly. And then pick and choose. First theta B, mark here theta B. Then this is also theta B. So add both of these. Okay. Then similarly, again, the most important thing here is when you're writing this equation, it should be in the order only, sequence. That is, always first should be theta B, theta C, followed by the delta value. Only if you keep it in this form, when you substitute this equation in the calc, then you'll get the right answers. Okay, so first theta B, then theta C, substitute the value here, right, add these values, then delta. So this is minus delta, this also is minus EI delta. So add both of these and you'll get this. And 120 is a constant because it is minus. When it goes the other side, it becomes plus. So this is the final equation now, which we'll be putting in the calc. Similarly, next, moment about C. So MCB plus MCD equals 0. Again, use this, consider all the equations, and again keep this in the form of theta B first, theta C first, then delta, EI delta, and finally followed by a constant the other side. Now these are the two equations, one, two equations, uh, which you can solve it in the calc. But there is a problem. Now the problem is, see here, there are three unknowns, theta B, theta C, and delta, three unknowns. But the equations are only two. Okay, only these two. So you cannot solve this. Okay, there should be, if there are three unknowns, there should be three equations. So right now you have only two. So to find out the third equation, what we do is, now we'll find this delta value. So if you want to find this delta value, what we'll do is, we'll take the moment of all the forces at the top of the joints. Now why we'll take only the columns here? Now see here, because if you apply any force here or here, okay, the only the columns will deflect. From A will be fixed, but it goes on deflecting like this. It goes and reaches. So B becomes B dash. Likewise, at D, so D is fixed. Again, because of this difference in the height and because of the loading condition, again this will go on deflecting like this. Okay, now it could be either to the right or to the left. We don't know where exactly it is deflecting. So what we'll do here is, we are taking only the because the columns are moving. So that's why we're considering the delta value. So the delta movement is only in the columns. So what we'll do here is, we'll take the moment about this point, that is at the top of the joint of the columns only. So this is the top of the joint of the column, that is at B and at C. Now you can see here, I don't know where exactly these movements are taking place, like as in whether it's clockwise or anti-clockwise, I don't know. So to make things simple, so what I'll assume is, all the moments which are acting at A, B, C and D, all are clockwise. So initially I'll assume that all the moments at A, that is MAB, MBA, MCD and MDC, are clockwise. Okay, I'll assume this like this. So if I want to find RH, now I'm more interested. Now you can see here, end A has a fixed support. Now because it has a fixed support, so fixed supports will have three equations of equilibrium. That is horizontal movement, vertical movement, and a rotation. Okay. Okay, so this is called horizontal displacement, vertical displacement, and a moment. Now, my main interest is to find out the horizontal movement. Again, why I'm finding horizontal movement is, I want to find how much is the delta value, how much it has moved horizontally, either to the right or to the left, how much both the columns have moved, have displaced from their initial position. So I'm more interested in the horizontal movement. Now, because the area of interest is horizontal movement, so I'm going to consider only the horizontal movement, that is horizontal reaction about A and horizontal reaction about D. Okay, so now I'll mark here RAH, and here also RDH. Now why I'm marking this to the right is, again, I don't know where exactly it is going. To make things I'm just going to assume that the horizontal movement, so right side horizontal displacement is positive. So I'm just going to mark this like this. Now I have to find out how much is RH. Okay, so to find how much is RH, see, right now there is only movement, one movement here, one movement here, only in this part of the section, that is in AB. There are only two movements, MAB, MBA. Okay, both are clockwise. So here directly I can write that if I'm finding moment about this point, okay, here it is simple because I'm finding moment, there are only two moments and one reaction. So I'm finding moment about this point. So it is MBA plus MB, MAB, MAB plus MBA. Both are clockwise. Okay. Moment into, so these are the two moments. And RH, if it causes a moment, if it has to reach here. Okay. So it is going in anti-clockwise direction. So RH into 4. Okay, so clockwise moment is equal to anti-clockwise moment. So here you can see here, if I'm finding moment about B at the top of the joint, so moment about B is equal to MAB clockwise plus MBA clockwise plus, this is also clockwise plus. So MAB plus MBA into is equal to RAH into 4. So RAH is going anti-clockwise. So RAH into 4. So when I simplify this, so it is like RAH is equal to MAB plus MBA divided by 4. Okay, I'll get RH. Similarly, if I have to again find out the moment about C, so it is MCD plus MDC. Both are clockwise. So MCD plus MDC is equal to, now RDH is going anti-clockwise. I'm finding moment about C at the top of the joint of the column. So RDH is going in anti-clockwise. So anti-clockwise means negative. So it is RDH into 6. So positive moments is equal to negative moments. Okay, so RDH is equal to, now it is MCD plus MDC divided by 6. Okay, now these are the two unknowns which we have to consider here. Okay, now what I'll do is I'll consider the equilibrium of the that is horizontal equilibrium of the frame. Now I want to find how much it is moving horizontally, how much the complete frame is moving horizontally. Now to do this, so horizontal, now consider only the horizontal forces. So the horizontal forces are RAH plus RDH is equal to 0. Only horizontal forces are 2 here at the foot of the columns. So there are two reactions. So RH plus RDH. Again, why I'm taking plus? Because I'm going to assume that both are acting to the right side. So RH plus RDH is equal to 0. Okay, so I've already calculated this. So what I'll do is I'll use this now. MAB plus MBA divided by 4 plus MCD plus MDC divided by 6. Okay, you can solve this here only, and then what we can do is we can cross multiply. See here, 3 into MAB plus MBA, close the bracket, plus 2 into MCD plus MDC is equal to 0. Okay, now what you have to do is 3 times, you're already calculated this MAB, equation number 1, equation number 2. Now you have to substitute the value here, and when you're doing this you should be very careful when you're solving this. Okay, because there are too many terms. Next, similarly, 2 into MCD plus MDC, so equation number 5 and 6, so 2 times, put the complete equation, close the bracket. Okay, now solve this, solve the inside terms first. So add this 3, solve the inside terms. So again, solve the inside terms in such a way that uh, first theta b, then delta, here also theta c and delta, then multiply 3. So 3 multiplied to the inside portion, so again 2 multiply here. Okay, when you solve this, okay, so when you solve this, so this would be the final form, that is theta b plus theta c. Again, this would be a delta value. Again, it is a form of theta b plus theta c and the delta value. So now this is the equation number 9. So we have to do this additional step in sway analysis in order to find the third unknown, because previously you have noticed here we have, by solving the two equations, now see here, by solving the joint equilibrium equations we got these two equations. Okay, 1 and 2, that is 7 and 8 equations we got. But then the unknowns are 3. So this is theta b, theta c, but delta is still unknown. Now to find out this delta, we have to do this additional step that will be carried out in sway analysis. And that's how you do the step, complete step. And that would be same for all. For all the sway analysis, you have to take the um, joint equilibrium equations at the top of the columns. So once you get this, okay, now you have three equations. So three equations, use it in the calci. Again, when you're solving this, be very careful with the signs here, this sign and this portion. Okay, so now you have, so solving equation 7, 8, 9. Again, solve it in the calci. So you'll get this theta ei, theta b value, theta c value. Again, careful with the sign, and delta value. Okay, so then substitute all of these, then you'll get MAB, MBA. Substitute back in the previous 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 equation. So substitute here. Okay, substitute in all of these equations. So you'll get MAB, MBA, MBC. Now the check is MBA and MBC should be equal and opposite. If this is clockwise, this should be anti-clockwise. Only then whatever you have solved in the problem, whatever problem you've solved, it is right. Okay. Similarly, here also MCB and MCD should be equal, almost equal and opposite. Okay, so here there is a little error. That is, of course, again, if there is a difference of 1 kilonewton meter also, that's okay. All right. Because sometimes we don't consider the third decimal place. That's why there is a error here. Okay. Then MDC is this value. So now after this, finding of this thing, next is solving the, marking the moments properly. Okay. So mark this moments here. Okay. First draw the diagram like this. Okay. maintain the length also properly, and draw a dotted line here. Now, as I've told you, this dotted line signifies the positive portion of the beam. So if it is plus, okay, so if it is plus, so you have to bend the beam inside like this. This column and this beam will bend inward. Okay, now see here, the first MAB is 25, so it is clockwise. So clockwise means show it like this, positive answer. So positive answer clockwise. So try to show it on the beam. Okay, on this, on sorry, on this column. You have to show it on the column. So arrows, let the arrows move away from the column or touch the column. It should be drawn in such a way. All right. So next is 64.58. Again, it is positive. So again, try to draw this in this portion only. So it is positive. So it is clockwise. So it is 64.8. Similarly, MBC. Okay, again, I've told you this error 1 kilonewton. You can take the higher side, of course. So it is minus. Minus means like this, anti-clockwise. So it is anti-clockwise 65.18. Show, no need to show both the sides. So you can show this clockwise and anti-clockwise and write off here only. One moment. Okay. Next, 86.63. So it is clockwise 86. So it's positive answer. So try to show in CB span only. So it is 86. Again, it should touch the beam. You can see here the arrows are touching the beam. Similarly, here also minus sign anti-clockwise. You should draw it in CD portion only. So anti-clockwise. So it is like this, anti-clockwise rotation. And again, MDC is again anti-clockwise. So again, try to touch this column like this. So it is 49.35. Okay, so once you draw all of these, next is marking these is very important. Next is drawing the bending moment diagram. So only BC is loaded here. So the free bending moment is WL square by 8. So it is WL square by 8. So it is 180 kilonewton. All right. So first draw the bending moment as such. So it is WL square by 8, 180 kilonewton. Then, and then you can see here mm, A. Okay. A is bending inside. Inside means this column will bend inside. Inside means we are drawing on the dotted line. So dotted line means it is on the positive side. So I'll draw this inside like this. So it is plus. So all the dotted lines which are drawn within the frame are positive. Hmm. Okay, so this is plus, and all right. Then you can see here, because there is a difference here. All right, because there is a difference, what's happening here is this part in BC span, it is trying to push it in anti-clockwise. So this is trying to push it in anti-clockwise. So it is trying to affect the column. So what we're going to draw here is we're going to show this as so this impact of this will be acting on the column. So it is minus. Minus means in this direction. Hmm? Left side. So left side is 65.31. Okay. Similarly, now this moment here will affect, you can see here, this moment will affect the beam now. So beam, draw it above like this. Okay. Similarly, in this portion, you can see here, they're again equal and opposite. Okay. This portion is trying to affect. Okay. In this portion, it is trying to affect above like this. So it is, you have to again draw on the negative side at the end here, end of the column. So it is, so this is 65, this is 86. So 86 should be drawn above. Next. Okay. Now in this portion, okay, if it is confusing, so start with the uh, fixed support only at D. So at D, you can see here, this moment is trying to push this column inside. So because it is trying to push the column inside on the positive side, so I'm going to draw it in the positive side. So this is 49.35. Okay. And then this is 86.63. Okay. So show it outward like this. So it is minus here. This portion it is minus. So it is 86.63. Show it minus. Then join both of these. So inside portions are positive. Okay. Whatever you draw inside the uh, beam, inside the column are positive. Outside the column are negative. Then join this. Mark this. Okay. Fixed end. And whatever falls outside here, that is the positive bending moment. These are all the negative. 1, 2, 3, 4 are the negative bending moment. This is positive bending moment because of the UDL of 40 kilonewton meter. Okay. All right. So with this, we'll finish the problem with sway analysis. On the same lines, we'll carry out the next type of problems in the next class. Okay. That's all for today. Thank you.